G'day guys, Joe mate Big J here. It's been a while. I know I haven't done a video for probably a week or so, a couple of weeks. But it doesn't matter. So back to it. So what have we got for this episode? Well, William Zepeda, George Kambosos. Going to be talking about Jai, Optire and Skye, our two world champions. And then we'll talk into Liam Paro versus Devin Haney, which is also in the mix hopefully in December. So a lot of world champion talk at the moment. The only one that's leaving out is Shanika Johnson. Haven't heard anything what's going on for and Shay Keneally too. She's also a world champion. But so I've heard, and I did a video of T Street the other day, that William Zepeda is going to be fighting George Kambosos at 140. Now I'm also hearing reports that William Zepeda, instead of fighting George, is going to fight Tevin Farmer. What the fuck? Tevin Farmer, who was a legit champion, IBF super featherweight from 2018 and 2020. He beat Billy Dibb in Australia for that title back in 2018. Is a fucking washed up, blown up super featherweight who lost his last fight against Mata, I think. He lost his last fight in July. So why the fuck will William Zepeda fight Tevin Farmer, a bloody blown up super featherweight? And probably a washed up one now because he's 34 years old. 34 years old is not old these days, but, you know, a blown up super featherweight, why the fuck would he fight that? I mean, George is a way better opponent. So, and Tevin Farmer has been deducted many times, at least 3 fights that I found for holding. So he's been deducted points in 3 fights for holding. So if William Zepeda fights Tevin Farmer, that gives him absolutely no credibility whatsoever. So he avoided the fight with Shakur Stevenson because his wife was pregnant. Okay, fair enough. But really, that's really not that good an excuse. And now he's going to fight Tevin Farmer, who's a blown up and quite possibly washed up super featherweight. Oh, fuck off. Who lost his last fight? Who lost his last fight at 135? Tevin Farmer's not an established lightweight fighter. George is. He was the bloody unified champion. He was the top dog in the division there at one point. So that's a bullshit fight. Where does George go? I don't know. We've heard rumours about George, that George is going to be fighting Liam Paro. That's not going to happen. I wish it did, but it won't. And I don't know where George goes from here. If this Tevin Farmer story is true, I thought he was fighting William Zepeda on the 16th of November card in Saudi. Apparently that's now Tevin Farmer. So where George goes from here, I don't know, because the Liam Paro fight will not happen, because apparently Liam is fighting Devin Haney in Townsville, of all places, on December 7th, December 8th in Australia, December 6th, December 7th in the States. You know, primetime TV, which is Sunday afternoon in Australia. So I don't know where George goes to from here. Hopefully he can get a fight. I don't know what he does. If his next fight's at 140, there's plenty of guys he could fight. Maybe go after the IBO champion again at 140. I don't know who that is. I haven't looked it up. But we'll get to Devin. We'll get into Liam Paro now and Devin Haney. So reports are coming out that it's going to be December 7th, 8th in Australia. And it's going to be IBF champion Liam Paro in his first defense against WBC 140 champion resets Devin Haney, who had that loss reversed to a no contest against Ryan Garcia. So I'm hoping it's not those dates, because I've got 2 children's birthdays on the 5th and the 6th. I hope it's the week before or a week after, so I actually get to the fight. But if not, so be it. Good fight for both guys, because if Liam wins, it pretty much cements his place as pretty much the top dog at 140, because then you've got, well, it's certainly, people are going to take notice of him, because if he beats Devin Haney, right, it's like, well, Lopez could be interested in, certainly, who's the bloke, whoever the bloke, I can't remember who the bloke is that beat Pitbull the other day. So it's just going to be unification. It's the road undisputed. So Liam Paro might be the dark horse of boxing and be like, well, he might become undisputed out of nowhere, because I remember saying 6 to 12 months ago that Jason Maloney, Tim Tszyu, and Skye Paro will all be undisputed in their respective divisions, while Liam Paro will get decapitated by Matthias. That statement has become completely untrue. Tszyu has lost and will probably never be undisputed at 154, not while Crawford's around. Jason Maloney has lost his belt, right? And he won't be undisputed at 118. He's pretty much left out of the mix because Japan's got a very big stranglehold on the 118 and the 122 divisions. And speaking of which, in about probably 5 hours, Inoue will defend his titles against TJ Doherty, and I think if it goes past the third round, I'll be very surprised. I think TJ Doherty is going to get decapitated by Inoue. Just another side note. But yeah, if Liam can win this fight, that becomes a real contender at the 140 division. And the real question is, I need to ask this now. I don't think Eddie and Devin are really thinking this through, because it's fucking hot in Townsville in December. It's muggy as all. That's wet season. If it's not pissing down rain, it's muggy as all fuck. I know, I lived in Townsville for 6 years when I was in the army, so I know what Townsville's like in December. If it's not pissing down rain, it's hot as fuck. So, excuse me, Devin Haney best be training in Florida the entire time. Or better yet, come to Australia for 8 weeks and acclimatise to it. He should get to Australia in October, which is next month, and train for the fight in Townsville. So that's what I'll be doing, because the Queensland Country Bank Stadium, where the fight is rumoured to be held, I don't know if it has a roof on it or not. I can't remember. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I think they had the same problems when Horn fought Tszyu. They were worried because that was in August. So that wasn't in the wet season. I don't know if it has a roof on it or not, and I'm not 100% sure if they do. Maybe it does. I'm not 100% sure. You think that, considering that they finished building it in 2020, it would have a retractable roof on it. I can't remember if it does or it doesn't. But a outdoor stadium fight in December in Townsville is pushing shit uphill, because it's either going to be stinking fucking hot or it's going to be pissing down rain. One of the two, or both. So, but anyway, I hope Liam smacks out Devin Haney, because his behaviour after the Ryan Garcia fight has been unacceptable, to say the best. I mean, punching a carny, what the fuck, Devin? He was on. When I met him a couple of times, more so the second fight than the first fight, with the Kambosos, those two Kambosos fights. Well-mannered, well-spoken, it's clearly well-raised. You can see that he was, not a dickhead. And now he's just like yakking like a dick. I mean, it's always the way that one fight can change a fighter's entire career. Now that it's been back to a no contest, the real question is, how does Devin Haney bounce back from the loss from Ryan Garcia? Because Ryan Garcia belted him one. But to be fair, that fight shouldn't have happened, because Ryan missed the weight. He missed the weight by 3 pounds, which is unacceptable. 3 pounds is a massive thing, right? And just unacceptable. So hopefully he can put that loss in the back of his mind. But again, Liam Paro is a southpaw, and Liam Paro can hit. Look what he did to Brock Jarvis. So, and he neutralised Matthias that entire fight. What if Liam Paro does the same thing to Haney what he did to Matthias? Liam Paro will win the fight, because that's what you do to a boxer. You put the pressure on him straight away. From the opening bell, you rush up to him and you put 50 into him. So that's going to be an interesting fight, because Haney's coming off the controversial loss to Garcia, where Liam's coming off the biggest win of his career. So that's going to be an interesting one. Now, on to Jai and Skye, who are fighting on the Dmitry Bivol Arthur Beterbiev card in Saudi on October 12th. Both opponents are pretty weak. I mean, to Skye's credit, her Raven Chapman, I think her name is a lot more better opponent than the last opponent that Skye fought. The girl from the Dominican Republic, the PCYC fighter or the club fighter, whatever the girl's name was, whoever they found. Raven Chapman's ranked 7th with the WBC rankings at 126, but she's a bum-bashing bum. I said that before on T Street's video. Her record is I think it's 8 or 9-0, but if you look at the records, not the records of the fighters she's fought, the records of the fighters they fought, they're all club fighters. Raven Chapman fought club fighters from countries where boxing is not a huge sport. They come over to England and Raven Chapman beats the crap out of them. So that's what happens. Raven Chapman, I think Skye will take care of her pretty easily. Ciara Brown's been mentioned many, many times, but I haven't seen Ciara Brown calling Skye out or anything, so maybe they've got other things going on for her. It's in Saudi Arabia, so I'll be very interested to see what they're wearing and how the weigh-in's going to work, considering those Saudi girls, they need to be covered fully. So that's going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. And Jai Patai taking on Jack Massey, I think his name is. He's ranked number 11 with the IBF. It's just a keep busy fight for Jai until he starts getting unifications, because CBS is fighting. I can't remember who he's fighting, but he's got a fight coming up. The WBC guy's got a fight coming up as well. So Jai's doing what Jai should be doing, that's staying active. I mean, I know his caliber of opponent's not the best, but hey, you can only fight who's in front of you. And Jai, people keep saying Jai needs to go to heavyweight. I totally disagree. He needs to stay as far away from heavyweight as possible. The heavyweight division's too stacked. And unless he puts on 50 pounds, he's not going to be a threat. So I think Jai needs to, I've said it many times, Jai needs to stay as far away from the heavyweight division as possible. Do what Usyk did, become undisputed champion, get a couple of defenses, and then move up. And by then, the Furies and the Usyks and the AJs and all those other guys will hopefully have retired. So he won't run into them, because I don't see Jai Oppetai beating any of those guys. But then again, I said Jai wouldn't beat Bredis. And he beat Bredis not once but twice. Put Bredis into retirement, which I found unusual. I'd still call Bredis the second best cruiserweight in the world. Bredis would beat the shit out of any of the other current champions. I'm surprised he didn't go after another belt and have a rubber match, a unification bout to get Jai. But anyway. I'm looking forward to the Saudi card to see what they're going to do with the girls. I think Skye, even though she blocked me on X, she blocked me on Twitter, I'm like, well, what did I say to, piss her off? So I thought, being from Queensland, I thought Skye would have a little bit more thicker skin than that, considering I've never said anything personally about her. I've only ever criticised her level of competition and her lack of boxing skills. Personally, I've got nothing wrong with her. She's a Queenslander. So, but, I really don't care what Skye thinks of me anyway. So if she wants to block me, go right ahead. Couldn't care less, to be honest with you. So, Jai should deal with this Jack Massey bloke pretty easily. It'll just be another easy defense. He'll smack him out inside of 6 rounds. Early prediction on Haney Paro. I think Paro will get him, because I think this is going to be the beginning of the end for Haney, because I don't think that Garcia loss or that Garcia fight, I don't think he will recover from that. I think this is going to be another, situation similar to the Jeff Fennick, Zuma Nelson first fight, the skinniest same with the screw job over Pacquiao. I'm just trying to think what other, and the Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad fight, where that one loss changes their entire career and they're never the same. So I think that's what's going to happen with Haney. I don't think he'll recover from the Ryan Garcia fight, because as we know, Ryan Garcia beat the shit out of him. But again, Ryan missed weight and he popped up for banned substances. So, but that doesn't change the fact that still that Devin Haney got the piss kicked out of him. So it's interesting to see how things are going to go. I'm looking forward to everything. I think, as I said, with tonight, I really don't see how TJ Doherty is going to get past. Anyway, if it goes past 3 rounds, I'll be very surprised. And speaking of anyway, hopefully he fights Sam Goodman by the end of the year. But again, it would take a goddamn miracle for that to happen, for Sam Goodman to get over Inouye. I think, again, Inouye decapitates him inside of 4 rounds. So, well, that's it for this episode of Aussie Boxing Talk. Like, subscribe, share around to your mates. I'll put it out on Twitter and Instagram and all that sort of shit to try to build the numbers. Have yourself a great day. Old mate Big J, Aussie Boxing Talk, and we'll see you again another day.